I was coming from Zambia. I just finished preaching and praying for Manawasi before he became president. They treated me like a king. I was going back to Nigeria. The way they brought me to the airport, presidential escort. I got to the airport, I flew to South Africa because I needed to connect my flight from South Africa. As I was going to my ticket back to Nigeria, I was on a queue with people on the first class ticket, and I saw a lady on a wheelchair. Immediately I saw that lady. She was wearing a white and a blue cardigan. Immediately I saw the lady. I knew that there was trouble. I fixed my eyes on the lady, and then the Lord asked me, Yinka, do you love that woman's situation? I said no. The Lord said, you have to do something. I said, I said, this is airport. I said, Lord, this is not stadium. This is airport. I said, Lord, what do you want me to do? She said, I want you to pull her. Somebody say pull. Pull. Somebody say pull. Pull. She said, I want you to pull her from her wheelchair. I said, no, Lord. I said, this is not stadium. I said, what will people say? What will they think of me if I pull her and not? I said, God, don't embarrass me. No, Satan, I bind you. This is the devil. The Lord said to me, stop binding me. It is me. I looked at the lady. I looked at her legs. The devil told me, just try it. Just try it. God told me, go ahead, pull. I said, Lord, should I pray? God said, no. You know, it's easy to pray, but pull. As I was going, I told God, I said, God, you want to disgrace me at the airport? Look at how I came in here. Look at everything. Why do you want to do this to me? God said, he said, let me ask you, who are you? He said, now you have grown so big now because of the way they brought you here. He said, if it's not me in your life, who are you that you are telling me what people? So I went. I held the woman's hand and pulled her. She had a bag on her lap, and the bag was not well closed. All the contents of the bag were on the floor. She had a airport security man pushing the wheelchair. That guy put his hand in his pocket, brought out a whistle, and blew. Before I knew it, 6 security men came. Some carried, man of God, with my crocodile briefcase and my beautiful suit. Some carried me with one hand here, the other one with my legs were dangling. They took me to the chief security man's office. I got there. The man said, oh, why were you harassing the white woman? I said, no. I said, God told me to pray. He said, no, you were not praying. We didn't see you praying. I said, pull. I said, it's a kind of prayer. He said, oh. The man said, pull is a kind of prayer. He said, yes. He said, we're watching you in the camera. We saw everything. I said, you cannot understand. I said, God told me. He said, explain. If you're a man of God, you are to pray. You didn't pray. You went for a hand and you pulled it. We have it on camera. I said, you said, that's how God, you said, by faith. He said, no. He said, sit down on the floor. I said, me? He said, yeah. He said, who are you? He sit on the floor. That wicked guy that blew the whistle. The guy came and said, will you sit on the floor? I sat on the floor. I looked at heaven. I said, God, you are finished. I said, with the same mouth that I used to tell people that you are Lord, that you are a good God, if they take me to prison, I will make sure nobody gets born again in the cell. I said, because I will tell them how wicked you are. I sat down there on the floor. The man, they gave me a sheet of paper. They said, write your statement. So I wrote the statement. So I prayed for her. Then I squeezed it. I threw it in the dustbin. I wrote. So I pulled that, squeezed. I was wasting their paper. The man said, don't waste our paper. Don't worry. We know how to handle people like you. So they said they should go and call the lady. And they went to call the lady because they wanted her to put her own statement before she takes her flight. I sat on the, so I was trying to explain to the man. The man said, you can't explain anything. We saw you, we caught you on camera. God did not talk to me. I was expecting him to stand and tell the chief that this is my servant in whom I am well pleased. The great man that I use around the world. Let him go. That would have been a miracle. God kept quiet. He didn't say anything. After a while, the door opened. When the door opened, the woman that was on wheelchair walked into the office. 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 Lift your hand and shout hallelujah.